The Bard is back on Broadway because the story of star-crossed lovers never gets old. Rachel Zegler and Kit Connor starring in the new Broadway revival of William Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. We hit the red carpet with the stars on opening night.
It's really exciting. That was one of our kind of main goals, was to bring in a new audience. I've loved Shakespeare for a very long time, and I've loved the theatre for a long time, and to be able to introduce some people to it who weren't as familiar or in love with it as I was, then you know, it's a very exciting thing.
Sam Gold is my favorite theater director of all time. Shakespeare is hard, and he makes it feel like it's really not as difficult as you think.
We have this like inside joke in the rehearsal room where we would be like, from the twisted mind of Sam Gold. And that's kind of how it is. I mean, he's just very visionary in his ambitions. He has a very specific but kind of ethereal aesthetic sensibility that we're all sort of reaching towards. Most of all, like, he's really compassionate and like genuinely cares about our company, and to have that kind of leadership is everything.
A good director is obviously a visionary and understands the story and knows what they want, but I also think a good director knows how to hire the right collaborators to keep a room really safe and validating and so tragic as Romeo and Juliet. So I think more than anything, Sam is really like an incredible cultivator of energy for creative people to thrive.
When you just let really brilliant people show up, then you have all this amazing raw material to work with. And I just knew if Jack delivered a song, I would know what to do with it. And then he delivered the first song, and I was like, I know exactly what to do with this. This is how we end Act 1. We go to the intermission on this. It's Rachel. And it just all kind of happens. It comes together.
Sam was like I see a young cast. I see it done this way. I see it. He saw the things he saw, but then he was also like, and then everything else, feel free to break any rule. And so, you know, I remember early on, I was like, you know, he was like, there could be a song. I was like, there could be a song. He was like, yeah. He said there could be 2 songs. And then what started as like a moment intermission, just, I don't know, you just let me, you let me do things.
I'm a big advocate for a belief in dance. I will fight for the dance to the day that I'm, and then I'll haunt you in my grave about it. Opening up the eyes and ears and hearts for people to understand that movement can make you soar, just like singing and speaking can. And having an amazing collaborator, Sam, giving me that space and coming together with me and just embodying that type of breath has been so great.
It's been electric. I mean, the audiences are very vocal, and it's a lot of young people who are so excited to see the show. And every actor wants that. You just want to feel like the audience is included in the show, and they are in many ways in ours. And so, yes, it feels electric.